This thing is called a yam and a red potato. We're making the chips out of this. Now, I'm going to make a different meal with these guys, but you saw the beginning of the video and you have an idea what you're looking at. And it looks like it's going to take pretty close to an hour to make the chips. So, is it worth it? Of course it is, because in this particular case, they wanted you to bring a vegan dinner that you made yourself and that was healthy. Is it healthy? I don't really think so. Because by the time you put the oil and the salt on it, you know, it's probably not healthy anymore. And it's probably many more calories than a normal chip bag. But is it fresh? It'll be fresh when I bring it to the party tonight. And it'll be me. It'll be something that I can show up.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living!
Alright, so the ringer is rung again. Turn that off. We're going to open the door and let it fan out so I don't get a head full of steam. I'm going to use my mitt. And once again, you can see they are starting to dry out. I'm going to put this one over here. Use the potato one, the red potato one on the top. Close the door for safety. Okay, so the chips are working. They're taking more time than I thought they would. Some of them are actually burning. You can see. So what you do is you flip them over again. Ooh, it's hot. Duh, it came out of the oven. And next time, what I think we should do for the oil is use something like this. This is canola oil, which I don't really like. Cooking spray. I think you'd be able to get a better, even distribution of using something like this, or maybe a spray bottle with oil in it, than using the brush technique, which added a lot of oil on top of the chip. So this one is almost finished, and all I'm doing now is I'm flipping them over so that they can dry up, so that they can crisp up, but they're working. Let's try this burnt one here, which I wouldn't bring to the party. Oh, it's delicious, and it's chewy, and it's got this seasoning on top of it, and you do have to chew it a little longer than the chip, but I think it will work out. And we're going to keep on going back and forth until we can dry out the chip. And I have a feeling it's going to take close to an hour to do it. Now the red potato. Now these are the yams. And they're definitely crisping up. And they're going to be just fine the way they are. You can see this one is almost like a chip. See, did you see how it broke? And it's perfect. So we're going to pull that one off. Try this really thick one over here. And it's still a little gooey on the inside. You see I'm pushing it with my fingers. But it's still a very good chip. So now I think what we can do, we can start pulling some of these off here, like these smaller ones. I don't even think it needs to be rotated, but we're going to do that anyway. We're just going to flip them over. So we're on the 40-minute mark. Another 40 minutes, this will be finished. We're going to pull this one off. Actually, I just ate it. Oh, it's delicious. So we're going to put this back in for another 10 minutes, and I think this will be the end of the red potatoes. Put it on the top. Alright, so these are garnet yams, which are perfect and they are crispy. These are purple potatoes, and I think they're going to be perfect. So for the party, we'll be bringing this on. So here what we did is we put in the top tray, we put in the garnet yams and some of the slivers of the purple potatoes. And the bottom tray has got slivers of the rutabaga that doesn't have any sea salt on it. For right now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this plastic container, and we're going to put the chips from the purple potatoes in. I'm going to taste this one. It's a little chewy, but it's very crispy. And then when we get to a party, we'll spread them out. And I'll give you an example of that at the end of this video. So we're just going to put these cover on top, put them in the fridge. We're going to test one of these burnt out rutabagas. And these are what I call super duper crisp. What's interesting is that they do not taste like they're burnt. They're crispy like what you'd expect a fry to be, but they don't taste burnt. So I'll probably bring a couple of these that don't look too bad, so that people can at least test them out. It tastes very good. It could just be that I'm fooling myself. I'm sure people will mention it. Now, in between when you're waiting for the oven, it's a good time for you to pick up your parchment paper, roll it inside of each other, noisy as this makes. Fold it in half to keep the crumbs in, like this, and put it directly in your trash can. And you can see this one here, it's still warm. It has some flakes on it, but we'll just gently rinse it and it'll be ready to go. So this is when you do your cleanup. You're not going to be using the oil anymore. This was an experiment which turned out very well. And if you have some oil, you can probably use it in some other meal. I'm going to be cleaning up the area. So I got this at a garage sale, and normally you pay like a lot of money for these self non-stick baker's rack, but I think I got them for $1 each. This one's really heavy, and with the parchment paper that I use on top of them, I don't have to worry about damaging my pans. Now I'm not going to be able to pour this back in the oil, so I'm going to put it in a separate container and use it in my salads tonight. But this is your oil brush. I do put it in the dishwasher occasionally if it gets really bad, but here I'm just using the paper towel to be able to remove as much oil off the brush as I can. If it starts to smell bad or something like that, then I wash it in the dishwasher. And this is a silicone brush, and I only use it for oil. This is just I got this as a Betty Crocker brush. I got it at 99 cents for $1. Good deal. I don't do anything else but this tool. Alright, now I'm going to put this away. Now when it comes to the mandolin, I'm very careful with it. Once like this was the slicer part that was put in, I just dry it up as best as I can. I am very careful of these blades. So if you do it, grab a towel like this and run it that way. Don't run it all the way through it, or else you'll cut your towel. And just treat it like it's a hot knife. You don't want to get your fingers in there, you don't want to get them burnt. In this case, you don't want to get them cut. You saw what it did to the vegetables. It can easily cut you. Okay? Backside, same thing. Now there are some of these mandolins that aren't as dangerous as this one is, where they have individual parts. You pay more for them, but maybe that's a good thing to have. So this is dry. I'm going to leave this on my towel, let me show you, right here, until it's completely dry. Then I'll put it back in its box, and then it'll be ready for the next time I'm using it. Now instead of using a mat, I got this fancy little no, this isn't an alligator chomping on my fingers, but I'll be able to grab the trays out of the oven without getting burnt. We'll see if this works or not. I picked it up for $1 at a friend's garage sale. Alright, we're finished. We're almost finished our timer, so we're going to pull it out now. Okay, so I didn't even feel any heat at all using these things. Alright, the chips. They're still saturated from the oil, so I have to use another paper towel, and this is where maybe spray would work better to oil these than the way I did it. You can see, you flip a chip, and you see a huge bit, and you can see it all coming off. So, not going to be fun to do, so I'm going to be quiet, and we're going to speed through this. And these turned out really nice because see how they crisped it up really nice. So the party is going to happen in a few minutes. Now obviously this is not the same as a potato chip bag where you have endless amount, but I'll be able to go back to it and fill it up when people start eating it. You can't go wrong with Sabra roasted red pepper hummus. So what I'll do is this tray like this, and I'll put this in a fancier dish than this container, and I'm sure the party will go just fine. Well, thank you very much for watching me as I've done this adventure of baking rutabaga, yams, and red potato chips. Okay, what did I learn? Everybody loved the yam. Matter of fact, they weren't interested in the rutabaga, and they didn't care much for the red potato. I did, but no one else did. So I had to fill all the trays up with the yam, even the burnt ones they ate. Matter of fact, they complained they needed more salt. But that's okay. I had salt out there for them to use. So if you do ever make these yourself, remember, as little oil as possible. It took almost an hour to do this. It's definitely a labor of love. Everybody liked it, and I'm going to enjoy giving this to the rest of my guests. Thanks again for watching me.